Oh boy. Do this thing.
All right.
All right. So today's video is about shift work, balancing your food, how to maintain when things just don't seem maintainable. Lauren put together some awesome talking points. The main thing that I want to touch on is just understand that there's more than one way to skin a cat. If your lifestyle that you live doesn't line up with, I need to eat 9 meals a day, that's just your lifestyle. Like, it is okay to make it work how you need to make it work. We're all going to be different. We're all going to do it in different ways. At the end of the day, it's about getting in the food that you need to get in. So go ahead, Lauren. You can touch on some of your talking points.
All right. So first one I'm going to talk about is make sure you guys are planning ahead. Most likely you guys are going to be hungry when you're working a late night shift. Just remember, those calories that you are eating at night still do count in your total calories. So just don't think, oh, you're working at night, it's like a whole different day. No, it still counts with the day. So just make sure you watch how much you're eating throughout the day. So then you know at night, okay, I'm going to be snacking. So I got to make sure I stay within my calorie count or whatever your goals are.
Right, Lauren, before you move on, I want to touch on something on that point. So everybody has the same 24 hours. Your calorie goal or whatever food you want to eat. So I like to eat 5 to 6 times a day. That's just how it works with my schedule. Sorry, I know my light's like beaming on my face. But let's see if I can move that. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I like to eat 5 or 6 times a day. That's just because it lines up with my schedule. I pretty much can go wherever, be wherever. If I'm at the gym, I can bring my food. If I'm at my house, I have my food. Anywhere I go, I can have it with me. For those of you that work on shifts, or those of you that are nurses and things like that are on your feet all day, and or construction, things where you can't have your food readily available, it's okay. Just know that your meals that you do have are going to be much larger and more calorie dense. Okay, so more carbs, more protein, more fat all in one meal because you have less meals. Good.
Yes. So like you said, pack lots of snacks and also make sure you stay super hydrated. So I know a lot of you guys might like coffee, but you still want to watch how much coffee you're taking in, especially at night, just because it can affect like with sleep and everything. And then our next point that we have is huge. It's make sure you get a lot of sleep. So during the day, make sure you're getting your sleep because it can affect you. And then some points I have down, one of the problems could be when a person works at night, the light exposure suppresses your melatonin, which is normally secreted at night. So that, I mean, that's a lot there, but let's just say it messes with you because your body thinks at a certain time at night it's supposed to be sleeping, but now you have lights on, it's daytime, you're not sleeping. So your body kind of gets confused a little bit.
Right, your internal clock is what we call it. Your internal clock gets switched. So it's okay as long as you hit your 8 hours. We as coaches, like, we're never going to tell you how to live your life. We can help you use the tools to plan your own day. But at the end, like, everybody's day is different. So if you sleep for 4 hours, get up and do something, sleep for another 4 hours, get up and go to work, you got your 8 hours, good for you. I mean, you just need to plan out your day and figure out, if I'm working from 8 at night till 8 in the morning, what does the rest of your day look like? So, like I said, like, we're here to give you tools and stuff, but we can't sit here and be like, this is what your day needs to look like, because we're not living your life. So use these tools that we're telling you and try to plan out your day. Everything is always going to go back to the first video we made, which is basics of living a healthy lifestyle. And the first one is preparation. So everything will always tie back to the basics. Be prepared, understand your schedule. It's something you need to play with. It takes time to adapt, but we're giving you tools to say, hey, have snacks. Hey, eat bigger meals instead of multiple small ones. Hey, get your sleep in. Hey, hydrate. Like, these are things you just need to add into your plan.
Yeah, just like working at night isn't your body's normal cycle. So just remember, like we said, get your sleep, because if you don't get enough sleep, that can affect your health. In ways it can cause weight gain. So just, you got to watch out for that. Make sure you're getting in your sleep somehow there.
Absolutely. And that caffeine thing that she said is huge, because even if you don't feel like it's affecting you, and I'm one to testify. I mean, I drank 4 Americanos a day. I am officially 21 weeks, no coffee. So this is huge. But even if you don't feel the effects, it's affected when you go to sleep. So I found out, like, I had in our what's it called? An irregular heart palpitation, because I was drinking so much caffeine, but like I didn't feel caffeinated. But when I would lay down, my heart would be like bup, 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 like super irregular. Like you don't notice it like as you wish caffeine would like make you feel, but on the inside it's still messing you up. So you want to give yourself at least 6 hours to not drink caffeine before you go to bed. So if you're going to bed at 3 a.m, work backwards. If you're going to bed at noon, work backwards, right? So that's where that planning comes in. Just know it has lasting effects. Just like, so the caffeine gave me an irregular heartbeat. My irregular heartbeat gave me unnatural sleep. So I wasn't sleeping as deep and as natural as I should be. So at the end of the day, I cut coffee, and now I'm strictly tea, because it takes me way more tea to get to the caffeine than it was with coffee. And there's ways around it. But just remember, like, it's super important. Everything affects each other, especially when you're trying to live a healthier lifestyle. And especially for those of you that work split shifts. English. I'm really good at English. I'm back in school. Anyway. Yeah, for those of you that work split shifts, it's even harder because your clock is backwards. So not only are we like, hey, you need to figure out how to plan your day, we're like, hey, plan your day backwards, right? It's difficult. It's not supposed to be easy. But one thing I wanted to touch on today and talk about a little bit is a thing called intermittent fasting. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it, and it's not a diet, okay? Intermittent fasting is not a diet. Intermittent fasting is strictly giving yourself a time period that you're not eating. This can go multiple ways. You can go 12-hour fast, 16-hour fast, things like that. There's a way to do it. So if you guys are interested in doing it and need a little bit more like structure with it, just talk to me and Lauren. We'll get you settled. But the majority of it is, if you know you're working a 12-hour shift and you know you're going to be busy as all hell, like, plan to eat while you're not at work. That way, while you are at work, you don't eat. And then when you come home, you have another big meal. So realistically, you're probably only eating maybe 2-3 times, but your meals are going to be a lot bigger. And then during the time that you're up and you're not able to get a meal, you fast. So that's just water, just drinks. And during that time, you'll notice eventually you just won't be hungry. So there's a method to the madness. Start with 12 hours if you're going to do it, and do it consistently. Because if you're 12 hours one day, 6 hours the next, 12 hours, 18 hours, you need to find a rhythm with your body. So your body works as a machine, hence why our logo is what it is, because you set its clock. As soon as you set its clock and then you consistently work at it, it will just function. But you can't just have wheels turning when you're doing one thing over here and one thing over here and then one thing over here. It's eventually going to lock up like your car, and it's going to be like, well, what way do you want me to go, right? So think of it like that. Stick to something. Figure out what schedule you want. Figure out what plan you want, and stick to it. That's it. Split shifts isn't much different than everybody else's normal life, except you're backwards. That's really it.
Yeah. And then just like one last thing, take active breaks. So just literally, if you're sitting behind the desk or whatever, stand up, do a quick arm stretch like we do at the end of the class.
Take out your
legs. Yeah. Go for like with like the staircase, walk up and down them maybe once if you're allowed, or walk up and down the halls if you can do that. Just something light. You don't have to do a full out boot camp style workout. Just something like
active, right?
Yeah. And it will improve your mood. It will help you sleep better than whenever you have to when you go home. So that's the last thing I got.
All right. Well, I knew this video would be nice and short. At the end, for a quick recap, all we need you guys to do if you're working split shifts is understand that you have to plan a schedule. Okay, so that's number one. You have to have a schedule. Number two, figure out when your meals are going to be placed. Number three, pack snacks. Number four, figure out if intermittent fasting will work for your schedule. If it will, sweet, we'll touch on it. Like, just let us know you want to talk to us in detail about it. If it's not, fine, keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, it's not a diet. It's just a way of scheduling your day. Number six, active rests, just making sure you guys are staying up, staying active. You're not sedentary all the time, especially for those of you that work at a computer. Get up, do a few squats, get up, do a few push-ups. It doesn't matter if you look crazy. You're the only one putting your health first, so be the crazy one. And number six, sleep. Number seven, sleep. And number eight, hydrate. That was a good recap, right?
That was a good one.
I mean, I might have slight short-term memory, but I think the past 12 minutes I was able to retain and repeat.
Yeah, I think we got it all.
Sweet. All right, well, that's all we got for split shifts. If you guys have questions, post them below for the recap or the replay, or what is this, the recording? A lot of reads. Recording, replay, recap.